Let's start in the East here. Revenge of the Fishermen here, storm brewing. Islanders and Hurricanes, two very fiery coaches there, Rod Brindamore and Patrick Waugh. And when we talk about this series, it's we don't have very high expectations here for the Islanders. We kind of alluded to it earlier. 28 regulation wins, had to win at 7 out of 9 down the stretch just to even get in and clinch the third spot in the Metro. I can't believe there's a third spot that was left open that long. Carolina, the thing about them is the Rangers have been playing so well, but so have the Hurricanes. But the Rangers have just been so good. There has not been a window for Carolina to make up any ground on them to get their, time in the limelight there. They're just quietly going about their business, winning hockey games left and right. Is there any reason to think here that the Islanders could pull off an upset of more than a game or two? I don't really think so. Varlamov's been playing well, but I don't know how long that's going to last. And, Carolina's just built for this playoff. So I got to take the Hurricanes here, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, no, the Islanders are just miserable. This is they have no reason to be there. They are inferior in every single category. The Carolina Hurricanes have a healthy Freddie Anderson, and when he is healthy, he just stops everything. The Islanders are I think they finish as the worst penalty kill in the league, and then you go into the playoffs where special teams are important. Their goaltending situation is a mess. I have a feeling that Patrick Waugh is going to lean on Varlamov. He's the veteran. He had him in Colorado. He saw what he can do. I'm not going to question the goalie whisperer, right? Patrick Waugh's done more than enough winning to know what he's got to go with. But Sorokin was supposed to be the guy, and who knows how long Varlamov has his leash if it doesn't work out. The Islanders are they're just so bad in every sense. This is Carolina has, again, same thing like the Rangers, come out early, hit them hard, hit them often, suffocate them. Do not give the Islanders any sense that they belong here, because they don't. You don't want that false sense of maybe we can kind of mentality, right? That's what the Bruins did last year. They let the Panthers believe that they could, and then evidently they did. So you don't want to give those teams any type of hope. You want to just absolutely suffocate them, run them out of the building game one and say, hey, we are here, right? The Hurricanes, we are here because we deserve it. We are better than you on every single front. We're going to go up 2-0 at home. We're going to do it in convincing fashion. And then we're going to go back to Long Island and do it again. And just don't give this team any chance. Because even if they, we don't even know, if Noah Dobson's going to be ready for game one. And he was by far their best defenseman. So there's just nothing working in the Islanders' favor.
Noah Dobson actually was second in points on that Islanders team. So yeah, they're definitely going to need him. Hopefully he could get healthy. I think, like you said, I think that they go with Varlamov. He was the better goaltender over Sorokin this season, just has a better save percentage. And you want a goalie that's going to stop as many as possible, especially against this Carolina Hurricanes team, which, shows out in the playoffs and can score a lot of goals. I saw it last year when they played the Devils in the second round. It was just very frustrating. Like you said, they suffocate you. And I think that this is going to be maybe a 5-game series with Carolina taking it.
You look at the season series, back in November, they played twice. They split a pair of overtime games, and the Islanders won a couple days before Christmas 5-4. Then back on March 19th, the Hurricanes won 4-1. But the Islanders back at mid-March at that point, that was right before the turnaround happened where they went on their run and got themselves into the playoffs. You mentioned Patrick Waugh, the goalie whisperer, Chris. What I like is, listen, there are a lot of coaches that would have had a tough time maybe sticking with Varlamov just because Sorokin is supposed to be the guy. He's paid like the starter and all that. Patrick Waugh doesn't care. And as a goalie, he's gonna know better than anybody when it's time to get off the Varlamov train. So he's going to know when, and if that's even if there is a time to get off the Varlamov train. And, we'll see if that, I don't think at any point he's going to be the reason that the Hurricanes jump them. But, I think maybe some of these games will be close. But, they met in the playoffs last year. It went 6 games. I'm kind of with Anthony on this one. I'll give the Islanders one victory there. But, Carolina's been a wagon lately. And they've, pretty much wire to wire. Not they had a little bit of a bumpy period, but they've stayed towards the top of the Metro all year. They've been right behind the Rangers. I mean, it's got to be Carolina in 5 here.
Well, like you said, right? They were right there with the Rangers the entire season, did not let up, even through the injuries at the beginning with the goaltending. They found their footing, and they were just 3 points away from winning, the President's Trophy. And you look at the Islanders team, which, like, it's just been an up and down, like a roller coaster all season long. And how many times did they blow games late and lose in overtime? Like, that still has to stick in your head when you have a complete team like the Hurricanes. If the Islanders don't get off to winning game one, or if they are leading in game one and blowing it, I think that's going to, set in with the team, whether they have Patrick Waugh on the bench or not. I think that this Islanders team has been through too much back and forth all season. And then you look at the Hurricanes that went to the Eastern Conference final last season and have played just amazing all season long. Like, it's just two different teams, two different philosophies. And the Hurricanes, to me, are the team that's going to win that one.
And the Hurricanes last year, one of the only reasons, not to say the only reason they lost to Florida, but Sergei Bobrovsky decided he wasn't really just going to let any pucks in for about a week and a half. So that was the reason why Carolina did not play bad in that series. They just, much like they couldn't catch a break with catching the Rangers this year, they couldn't catch a break against Florida last year. I mean, the Islanders, they had 2 different 6-game losing streaks this year. I believe one of them was before Waugh took over, but they're a streaky team, and what they really, if they want to have a chance in this series, you got to steal game 1 on the road or game 2 on the road. You got to come home with a split. You don't do that, it's going to be very tough. So that's the first step right there. So, maybe they come in with a little momentum. Maybe Carolina hasn't really had to play a meaningful game in a while. Maybe there's a chance they can jump them early in game 1. I just don't see it. I know in the Stanley Cup playoffs, upsets are way more common than other sports where 8 seeds beat 1 seeds or the 8 seed equivalent. I don't see it here with like a 7-2 or whatever we're going to call this equivalent. I just don't see it happening.
I can only see 2 teams possibly doing some sort of upset, and they're both in the Western Conference, whether it's Nashville or Vegas. Those are the only 2 teams. No one in the East, I think, is pulling any upset at all.
So, Chris, we've both said Hurricanes in 5. What do you got?
Hurricanes in 5 as well. Maybe the Islanders get 1 just because they're desperate, but I can't see it getting further than that.
Sorry, Islander fans. This is not the podcast for you today, apparently. Listen, I don't hate the Islanders like a Ranger fan normally should. It's not disrespect. It's just the matchup you got here.
But who knows? Maybe even
just
the
get
Islander
a better
fans,
team.
Maybe the Islander fans feel the same way. Maybe they're just going with it this season. Like, I don't think they expected to be in the playoffs this year. So maybe they're just like, you know what? If we get a couple games here, good. If we win a series, even better. But I think they're just going with the flow. And that's probably the take that the players should take as well. Like, we're here. Let's do our best. And let's see if we can get a game, like you said, in Carolina, split the series, and we'll work from there.
And this year they come in as a 3 seed as opposed to a wild card team. So, if you want to say that's improvement, I mean, there you go. There's something to hang your hat on there. Something to give you a chance.